Hi guys, thanks for watching our Inkscape tutorial video number 1, which covers your user interface, writing text, designing basic shapes and creating strokes. So if you open your Inkscape control panel up, you should see something like this. So you'll have a basic shape in the middle, which is usually an A4 sized shape. So the first thing we're going to want to do is change this shape to the size that we need. So we'll go File and then Document Properties to do this. That will then open up our Document Properties box. So you'll see in this list here, if I just scale down it, you can see lots of generic sizes it's put in there for us to use. We don't really use that, to be honest. We just put our own sizes in these two boxes here. So you'll see it's in millimeters at the moment. This box is millimeters and so is this one. So I like to work in inches, so you'll see the rulers here around the outside are in millimeters at the moment. So if I change this box to inches, you'll see they change to inches for me. And then this box down here, if I change that to inches too, then my design space is now in inches. So I can just delete this out and I can write 12 by 12 in here, which is what we're going to use for the demo. You can obviously write whatever in there you need. So now we've got a 12 by 12 box. So there's a few things we're going to go through, as I said, today. We're going to write some text, show you how to create a stroke, which is a border around the text, and we're going to have a little play around with a few shapes. So if I grab my text tool from the left there, which is the A, and then I just write a word, so I'm going to write start to print. And then I grab my arrow at the top there, that's going to allow me to resize it. So to resize it in the correct scale, I'll hold my control button down as I'm pushing the mouse out. So you can see that keeps the writing in scale. If I do it without holding the control button, you can see it's out of scale, so it's just doing what it wants. So I must hold the control button down and then move it with my mouse, and then it'll keep it in the right scale, in the right ratio. So if I just go up here and change the font now, we'll just select the handwriting style font for the demo. There's lots there you can choose from. So if I just select MV Bowley. So you'll see if I go to the bottom here and I just touch red, it's changed my font to red. Touch green, it changes it to green. Black, back to black. So just by touching the colors on the bottom there, you can change the color of your font on the screen. So if I wanted to create a stroke around this, I wanted to have a border around the text, I would need to do a different step when I touch the colors. So you see if I touch the color again here, it changes it to red. If I touch black again, it will change it back to black. So to create a stroke, I must hold the shift key and touch the color, and you'll see it's giving me a stroke around the outside there. So if I just touch the green there, it's just made the font green. I move it back to black. So if I hold the shift key down and touch the green, it gives me the stroke green, which is what we want to achieve. So to change the font, you just touch it. To change the stroke, you hold the shift key. So if I just make this a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. So if we want to alter the stroke now, we just right click and then we select fill and stroke. And then this will bring our box up on the right hand side. So you can see you've got some different things in this box. We've got RGB for color, we've got CMYK, we've got a few different options. And then we've got our wheel, which I usually use to design things. It's just easy to change colors. So you can see if I touch these different options, you'll see what comes up. You've got different ways of changing your color there. But like I say, I just tend to use the wheel. So you can spin the wheel and you can make things whatever color you need them to be. So whilst this is spinning at the moment, you can see the little circle in the center of my triangles by black. When I move it, it goes blue. And then if I move it again up to the top, it'll go transparent. So you can differ between the transparency of your font just by moving the circle inside this triangle. So if I spin it around now when it's close to transparent, you can see the color was close to transparent. If I move it up to the solid green and then spin it, you'll see the colors are now solid colors. So you can change how your text looks really easily using this wheel facility. So you'll see you can change the gradient here. So you can have dark at the side, go into light. You can have the gradient dark in the center and transparent on the outside. So you can play with these tools here as well, and you can alter your text. So this is something you'll have a little play with as you're getting a little bit more familiar with the software, but it's handy to know where these things are. So you'll see at the top you've got fill, stroke paint and stroke style. That's above where the wheel is. So you can see as I select them, it gives me a few more options. So I can change this here to different dots and dashes, and you can see it changes the stroke. So I can go down and select some bigger ones, and you'll see it's changed my stroke to those. This comes in handy for different projects. For the most part though, it's just a full one like that. So these little tools here come in handy when you're working with certain shapes. You can corner them differently. It's not so much use for text, but it's really good when you're working with shapes. So that's the basics of that. So I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller and put it inside our design space now. So we're just going to have a play with some shapes now. So if I draw a shape here, you'll see it's still got the stroke around it. It's remembered the stroke we've had on our last thing that we were working with, in case we're designing this and we want it to look the same. It's pretty easy to turn that off. I'll show you how to do it shortly. But if I was to draw another shape here, and then I grab that little circle, you can see I can make the corners go round. And if I do another one, they'll be round as well. So then I can use this little circle on the side and make it square again. So that's a cool little tool as well to use. So you'll see if I touch the center of this box, it gives me a swivel arrow around the outside now. So I just touch the center of the box to do that, and now I can swivel it around and make the shape look how I want it to look. You've also got the things at the top, the arrows at the top. So now I can skew it by altering these, just by pushing them to the left and right. If I want to cancel that, I can just hit Ctrl Z on my keyboard and it'll cancel those steps off. So you'll see you've got a little cross in the center there. If I move that down to the corner and then swivel it, you'll see it swivels it around where the cross is, if you're ever wondering what that little cross was for. It comes in handy sometimes when you're swiveling things or trying to make them look a certain way. So if I now move that outside of the box, oops, a little bit too far there, up, back we go. So you'll see it's outside the box now. So now when I swivel it, it actually swivels it in ratio, still around where that is, and still with the same distance away from where the little cross is. So if I move it back into the center, you'll see it swivels it around the center again. So that can be a cool little tool when you're working with shapes. So if I was to write some more text now, you'll see when I write text, it won't remember the stroke. So if you want to put the same stroke in again, you can go back and do the steps again, and you can create another stroke. So with the shape, if I draw another one, you can see it's still got the stroke around it. So I need to go back into my fill and stroke section, and then I need to go there and just make that 0. And then you can see the strokes disappeared. And then I can move that around and put it where I want to put it. So you can see how easy some of that stuff was to do, using the edge circling tools, using the skew tools. It's all pretty straightforward once you know how to do it. So that's pretty much it for those topics. So just one more thing I'm going to show you. You've got these boxes at the top here. So they're your mirror boxes, these two boxes here. So you can mirror horizontally and you can mirror vertically. And then the boxes at the side that we're using now, they'll just flip it around. So those 4 boxes come in handy as well. So you've got mirror horizontally, mirror vertically, and then you can flip your design or text around in 90-degree angles as well with the other 2. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hopefully that's cleared a few things up with text and shapes and strokes for you. We'll see you on the next tutorial, and we'll be covering some more cool topics. So that's it for now, guys. Cheers for watching the video. Bye bye. Please don't forget, guys, that if you haven't bought your printing equipment yet, we do sell complete startup packages. So lots of people come to us for help getting started up. We sell to schools, universities, martial arts academies, people working from home. And they come to us because they get something like what you see on the screen here, a full startup package. So they get all of the equipment that you see there. What they'll also get is they'll get their training and their after sales support. So you'll see there, you'll get your equipment, your training and your after sales support from us. You'll also get, if you come and visit us for your training, a free cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit. How's that? Please give us a like on social media, guys, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also go to our website, which is www.starttoprint.co.uk. You'll see it on the screen there. Thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.